Hello and welcome to my channel and my new video. And if you are into watch related content, please subscribe. Thank you. Today on a review and how-to tutorial, I have the beautiful and stylish Casio Edifice EFV C110. I have had my hands on its predecessor, the Edifice EFV C100. And I can definitely see the similarities. And that was expected. I'm very glad, actually, that there are similarities between these watches, because I really liked the C100. It was kinda old school Edifice watch. It was heavyish and big, chunky watch with interesting dial. The outer bezel is the same, hour markers and inner bezel markers as well. They kept the round digital subdial. Basically, the watch follows the same X type of dial as well as some key features, which, again, I like very much. But they also kept a negative digital dial or display, which is very bad and hard to read in basically any condition except for perfect angle. But nevertheless, it suits the watch style perfectly. The watch also does not have illumination. Hands are coated with luminous paint, so you will read your time somehow. But it does not have any lighting for the dial nor the subdials. Another thing that I would like to mention is the watch's Telememo function. The previous model had it also, but I haven't seen it in any other watches except Casio data bank watches, and frankly, I don't see the purpose of it. With today's smartphones and all that smart gadgets, you won't be using to store phone numbers for sure. Maybe a good card when playing top trumps, but that's it. All in all, I like the watch, would wear it too. Details are great, dial is interesting, and it wears great on my 7-inch wrist. With battery lasting 10 years, water resistance of 100 meters, you can't get any better for all occasion watch. Now let's move on to tutorial part of this video. I'm going to show you how to set the time and date on this watch. Well, actually before setting the time and date, I'm going to show you how to switch between 12 or 24-hour time format. And that is done whilst in the standard timekeeping mode, simply by pressing this button over here. And as you can see in the lower digital display, it will shuffle between this time setting, and when I press the button it says A, which indicates that we are in the AM region of the 12-hour time format. When I press this button again, the A will disappear, meaning that we are in the 24-hour time format. But let's get on with setting the time and date. Whilst in the standard timekeeping mode, press and hold the upper left button until you hear the beep. And there it is. Now, first in a row of settings is setting our seconds value. Now, you cannot set the exact value of seconds, but what you can do is reset that value by simply pressing this button over here, and it will reset to 0. Once you're done with that, press the mode button once again, and you are in the position of setting your daylight saving time mode. As you can see, currently it's flashing off, indicating that the DST is turned off. When I press this button over here, it will shuffle between on or off. So you can turn on your DST by pressing this button over here. I'm gonna leave it off because currently in my time zone it's turned off. Next up, press the mode button once again, and you are in the position of setting your hour value. Since this is a negative screen display, it's getting hard to pick up the watch info, but I hope you can see it's flashing number 3. And that means that we are in the position of setting our hour value. Now it's flashing 3, but it's not 3 o'clock, it's 19 o'clock in my time zone, and I'm gonna press this or this button over here to increase or decrease the value until I get it to 19, and that is the value of hours in my time zone. Once I'm done with setting my hour value, I'm gonna press the mode button over here, and the flashing continues or moves on to the minutes value. As you can see, it's flashing 04. Now, again, the procedure is the same. By pressing this button or this button over here, you can increase or decrease or increase the value of minutes. In my time zone, it is 19 o'clock and 5 minutes. Once done with that, press the mode button once again, and you are in the position of setting your year value. As you can see, it's flashing 2022, and it is correct, but pressing this button over here will decrease the value, or the lower one will increase the value until you get it to your year value that is correct. Once you're done with setting your year value, press the mode button once again, and as you can see, 11 is flashing. Currently it's November, and it is correct, but you can decrease the value by pressing the upper right button, or the lower right button until you get it to the corresponding number which corresponds to your month value. Once you're done with that, press the mode button once again, and you are now in the position of setting your day value. Today is November the 1st, but it shows number 2, which means that it's wrong. And I will decrease the value simply by pressing the upper right button to number 1. Again, you can shuffle the value between up or down by pressing one of those 2 buttons. I'm gonna leave it at 1, which is the correct date for my time zone. Press the mode button once again, and we are again back in the position of setting our seconds value, which means that we have ran through the cycle of setting the time and date. To implement those settings, simply press the adjust button once, and the watch will now implement the settings that we have just ran through. And with that, we have run through the cycle of setting our time and date on the Casio Edifice EFV C110. Thank you. Alarm mode on this watch. From the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, and we are in the alarm mode. As you can see, it says S and Z, so that's the indication of our snooze alarm. This watch has the 3 alarms, which one of them is a snooze alarm, and you are shuffling through alarms by pressing this button over here. As you can see, alarm number 1, 2, snooze alarm, and the hourly time signal. So 2 alarms, snooze alarm, and the hourly time signal. Once we are in the alarm number 1, let's say alarm number 1 for example, to set our alarm value, press the adjust button and hold it. And over here we have the hours flashing. And now we are in the position of setting our alarm value. By pressing this button over here or this button over here, you can shuffle between the alarm value. So let's say I want to set exactly at 12 o'clock. We have set it exactly at 12 over here. Let me zoom in. As you can see, number 12 is flashing. Press the mode button and we move to setting our, as you can see, it's flashing the minutes value. Again, you can press this button over here or this button over here to fine-tune your seconds value. I'm gonna get it at 12 o'clock sharp. To implement the settings, simply press the adjust button once, and now we have set our alarm number 1 exactly at 12 o'clock. And also you have an indication on your screen over here. I don't know if you can see it because it's very hard to pick up, but there's actually a small line over here pointing to AL1, indicating that the alarm number 1 is turned on. You can turn off the alarm by pressing this button over here whilst in the AL1. So let me press it, and as you can see, it disappears. It's very hard to pick up, but I believe you can see it. And as you can see, when I'm shuffling or pressing this button over here, it's going and it's disappearing and showing it again. So when the line is there, you have your alarm number 1 turned on. Let me move on to alarm number 2 by pressing this button over here. Again, to turn it on, press this button over here, and as you can see, the line on the AL2 is shown, indicating that I am turning my alarm on or off when I press this button over here. Press this button over here, and we are in the hourly time signal. Whilst there, when I press this button over here, I'm turning my hourly time signal, and as you can see, the line over here has shown up, indicating that the watch will sound every hour on the hour. While pressing this button over here, I'm shuffling between hourly time signal on or off. press this button over here, and we are in the snooze alarm settings. Now, when I press this button over here, you can see that I'm turning my snooze alarm on or off. The procedure is the same. Again, you can press and hold this button to adjust the hour and minutes value for your snooze alarm. The procedure is exactly the same as I did it for the alarm number 1. So those are the basics of the alarm mode on this watch. Countdown timer. First of all, let's enter the countdown timer by pressing the mode button once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and we are in the countdown timer mode. The countdown time, well, the countdown timer can be set in units of 1 minute up to 24 hours. Let me show you how to set your countdown time. Whilst in the countdown timer mode, press and hold the adjust button over here until you hear the beep. Now we are in the position of setting our hour value to be counted down. Let me zoom in that for you. And as you can see, the 0 is flashing, and I can set it by pressing this button over here or this one over here until I get it to my value. I'm gonna leave the hour value at 0. Press the mode button once you're there, and the flashing will move on to the minutes value. Again, by pressing this or this button, you can shuffle the minutes value in the countdown timer. I'm gonna leave it at, let's say, 10, and press the mode button once again, and as you can see, we are back to the setting our hour value. To implement the settings, simply press the adjust button, and now we have set our countdown time. To engage our countdown timer, press this button, and as you can see, the watch has started its countdown timer. Here it is. Seconds are counting, minutes over here, and the hours over here. Press the same button to stop it, again to engage it, and stop it. Adjust button to reset the value. And those are the basics of the countdown timer on this watch. Stopwatch mode. Well, from the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, and now pressing it for the 5th time, we enter the stopwatch mode. The stopwatch measures the elapsed time in units of 1/100th of a second up to 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59.99 hours. Let me show you how to measure the elapsed time. Press the mode button once over here, and we have engaged our stopwatch. Over here you have your seconds value, you have your 1/100th of a seconds unit. First 0 is hour value, and these 2 zeros are our minutes value. Press the stop button to stop it, same button to resume it, stop it, and adjust button to reset the value of our stopwatch. How to measure a split time? Press the button over here to start your stopwatch. Press the adjust button, and by pressing the adjust button, displays the elapsed time from the start of a race up to a point when you press the button. Split release, the same button, and this button over here to stop the stopwatch. Press the adjust button to reset the value of our stopwatch. How to measure the first and second place finishers? Let's engage the stopwatch by pressing this button. Press the adjust button, first runner finishes. Press this button over here, that's the second finisher, and adjust button, split release. Press the adjust button once again to reset the value. And those are the basics of a stopwatch mode on the Casio Edifice EFV C110. Telememo mode. This watch can store up to 30 records that include a name, so 8 characters for the name, and a phone number, which is a 16-digit. records are automatically sorted using the alphabet. Now let's enter the Telememo mode. From the standard timekeeping mode, simply press the mode button once and you are in the Telememo mode. These three lines over here indicate that there is available space. To input our new Telememo contact, press and hold the adjust button until you hear the beep. And there it is. Now, as I've said previously, we have 8 slots for our name. And whilst this one is flashing, you can press this or this button to enter a name. So enter a character. Let's say I want to say Dan. There's the first letter, D. Then press the mode button. Press one of those two buttons. In this case, it is this one to get to A. Then press the mode button once again. And we are in the position of setting our third character. I'm going to press this button until I get to letter N. And there it is. So those are the 3 characters. As I've said previously, there are 8 slots for your name. So that is number 3. Press the mode button for number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, when I press the mode button once more, now I'm in position to set our number. And as you can see, it is smaller line over here. Now let's say the Dan's number is 1, 2, 3. So 1, mode again. 2, mode again. And 3. Once I've set my name as a Dan and his phone number, I'm going to press the adjust button and there it is. Now let's say we have made an input and we have Dan written over here, and this is our contact number. Now to view this contact's number, press the mode button and the watch will shuffle between the name and its number. So as you can see, when I press the adjust button, it shuffles between Dan and his number. So 1, 2, 3 and Dan. Let's say we have misspelled or put in a wrong number for contact Dan, and whilst in the Telememo mode and our contact is Dan, press and hold the adjust button and the procedure is the same just as input. Let's say I have misspelled his second character. I'm going to press the mode button once and I'm in a position to set his name correctly. Let's say it's DBN. Then let's say I have misspelled his number wrong. I'm going to keep pressing the mode button until I get to the numbers. I'm going to change this number to 1, 1. And once I've done with my changes, I'm going to press the mode button once again. Now I have changed my Dan input or corrected my input to correct value. How to delete this character, or sorry, this input value or this contact? Whilst in the Telememo mode and I have selected Dan, I'm gonna press and hold both of these two buttons until clear appears. And there it is. Now I have deleted my contact and cleared my memory. And those are the basics of a Telememo mode. As I've said previously, this watch can store up to 30 records and you can shuffle through records by pressing this button over here. World time mode. First of all, let's enter the world time mode. That is done from the standard timekeeping mode by pressing the mode button once, twice, and we are in the world time mode. As you can see, you have our world time city shown over here. Currently it is London, and this is the time in the London. Now, by pressing this button over here, I'm shuffling between other time zones. By pressing and holding down this button, scrolls down to you engage the fast rotation or fast shuffling of your home cities or your secondary world time cities. Let's say I want to adjust my time or get it back to Paris time zone. I went through it. Let me get back to it. Tokyo, Adelaide, Papua New Guinea, London, and Paris. So here we are. Now let me show you how to set the your daylight saving time mode in the Paris time zone. Press and hold the adjust button, and we are now in the position of setting our DST value. Now, when I press this button over here, I'm shuffling between DST on or off in the Paris time zone. I'm gonna leave it at off. Press the mode button, and now, I don't believe you can see it, but underneath this minute hand, I'm having my hour value is flashing. To set the hour value in our world time mode, press this button to decrease or this button to increase the value of your hour value in your world time or secondary time zone. Once you're done with that, press the mode button once again, and we move on to setting our minutes value in our world time mode. You can press this button over here or this button over here to check the to set your exact world time in your secondary time zone. It is 19 o'clock and 31 minutes in Paris time zone, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Next up, press the mode button, and we have implemented our settings, and we have set our secondary time zone to be Paris time zone, and we have set our time, correct time in our Paris time zone at 19 o'clock and 32 minutes. Those are the basics of the world time mode in this watch. From the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and we are in the hand setting mode. The age set was shown briefly over here, and now we have the time shown in the digital displays. I'm gonna zoom in that for you. And as you can see, we have our time shown. It is 14 minutes and 19 hours and 14 minutes. And as you can see, my analog time does not correspond to my digital time displayed. And whilst we are in the age set hand setting mode, I'm gonna press and hold the upper left button, that's the adjust button, for about 2 seconds until I hear the beep. So let's go. And there it is. We have our both values on our digital displays flashing. Now we are in the position of adjusting our watch hands. So let's get started. By pressing this button, you are moving your time setting in increments of third of a minute, so about 20 seconds. So let me get it for you. As you can see, my minute hand is moving in increments of 20 seconds when I press this button over here. By pressing and holding this button over here, you will engage the fast rotation of your seconds hand. And as you can see, I'm moving my my minute hand, and the minute hand is going around, and it will move the hour hand with it. Now I will release it and fine-tune it to 19 o'clock and 16 minutes. Here is 15, I believe, yes. So let me get it to 16, almost 17 right now. And there it is, to 17. Now to implement the settings, simply press the adjust button once, and the watch now has, we have actually synced our analog and digital time. Remember that we are in the still age set mode, so press the mode button once, and now we are in the standard timekeeping mode. So that were the basics of our hand setting mode on the Casio Edifice EFV C110. Thank you very much for watching, and if you are into watch related content, please subscribe. Thank you.